Hello, my name is Jesse. This is not a reaction video, this is not a guitar video, this is a Q&A video. My second time ever. I did one in like 2016 or 2017 when I had like 2 viewers. So, yeah, welcome. This is going to be kind of interesting. Maybe I'll do this more often. I don't know if people, I don't know. But all I know is someone asked me if I can do a Q&A and I was like, I don't think anyone really cares. And then the questions came in and I said, all right, I'll do it at like 10,000, thinking that was like a couple months away. And then I hit 10,000 subscribers like a week later. And yeah, it's kind of going out of control. So I have all your questions here. I have them from Twitter, Patreon, YouTube. People are curious about Uncle Jesse. That's me. So my first question on Twitter is from Rockmana, and they say, what's your approach in managing the dreaded artist block, and how do you stay motivated? Well, I think this was like a meme question because the motivated has like a picture of like DMC with it. So the way I would actually get over writer's block or artist block or something like that when it comes to me creating music is it's actually very simple. I just kind of turn off my brain. So I'll pick up a random guitar. I have 7. I'll pick up a random one and then just like throw away like any like sort of rules and theory and just kind of just get down to the raw basics of just like wood, strings, my hands, and then just make noises. And eventually those noises are going to form into something, and then that'll probably, I can turn that into something. I can turn pretty much something into anything with enough drive. Like that's what I really like about the music that I create, is that there's kind of no rules followed in it. It's just if it sounds good to me, then I'm going to keep it going. So yeah. The next question is from Zusk Bloodline on Twitter. When did you find music or decided that you wanted to play an instrument? Well, when did I find it? I mean, I don't know. I was probably, you know, a toddler. What I can remember though is I'm pretty sure the first song that I remember liking since being a kid, and still to this day is my favorite song of all time, is America, A Horse with No Name. And that's my earliest memory that I think I have with music, you know, hearing that chorus, that la la la. And then when did I decide I wanted to play an instrument? Well, in grade school, we had to learn how to play like brass and woodwind instruments, and I learned the flute for like 3 months. I forgot which flute it is, but it's the one that's like sideways and chrome. I did that for a little while, and then I gave it up because I thought it was like too dorky. Of course, if I kept playing, I would have been amazing by now. And then I've always wanted to do like drums. I'm pretty rhythmic. And then keyboards I also wanted to do, but I could afford neither. And strangely enough, the guitar just kind of came into my lap one day through another story. But the guitar was never really like on my radar of things I want to play, because I thought it was like unfathomable to even play like that. And here we are. So I started playing guitar at the age of 14. So it's been a while. It's been a while, and I love it. Also from Twitter we have Manda Bear, and they say, I'm sure this is already asked, will you play Final Fantasy XIV? I think it'd be really awesome to see your reaction to the songs while you're in the game and defeating these bosses. I swear some of the songs hit way differently when you're in action, like the Shiva fight, Oblivion. Well, thank you for your question, Amanda. A lot of people have asked this question. This might actually be my most asked question of all since I started doing reactions. Well, I'm sure it does hit different, you know, of course, like you're in the world and doing all that, but as far as me playing Final Fantasy XIV, honestly, originally I was gonna say no, but that's too official sounding. I'm just gonna say I don't know, because basically it all comes down to, it has nothing to do with the game. Basically it comes down to, I work full-time Monday through Friday, you know, 8 to 10 hour days, and then when I get home I'm doing YouTube or something else, or playing guitar or something. I'm doing something. I'm always busy. I barely even play like any games right now, period. So getting into like an MMO would be probably the worst possible thing I could do for myself, because knowing me, I would get like sucked into that world, and there's no way that I'm only gonna play for like a couple minutes or an hour a day. Like no. Like I know myself, I will get like enthralled into it. So it's too vast for me at the moment, but you never know. You know, I've never played Final Fantasy. It always kind of like intrigued me as a kid, but as of now, you know, November 2021, I have no plans on playing pretty much any game at the moment, not just Final Fantasy 14. And again, that has nothing to do with the game or the community or anything. That's just a personal issue I have with my scheduling. So, sorry. Next question is from Kyom. What's up, dude? Long time no see. He asks, what's my favorite snack? Well, there's a lot, but if I had to narrow it down to one, I guess, there's these little Mexican candies called De La Rosa. I'll probably post like a picture of here. They're like little peanut. I can't even explain it. If you've had them, you know what I'm talking about. But they're like peanut. It's like peanut powder, but it's like solid, and as soon as you touch it, it like disintegrates into like powder. And it's just, I've just always loved that. I'm not a huge like peanut person, but De La Rosas are just amazing, and I could eat those all day. They're as fragile as my life is, but they're so good. So that's my favorite snack. Please send De La Rosa. Thank you. Next question is from D7X. What's up, man? Why is bass way cooler than guitar? Well, I'm not going to answer that, but I will show you a bass just to get you your kicks. I just got this one in a couple months ago. It's a Schecter Stiletto Custom 4. So instead of answering your question, I'll just show you a really cool bass. How about that? I do love the bass though. Like, it's not. I don't think it's cooler than the guitar, but it's quite essential. So yeah, is this really an answer, or is this me just showing off my stiletto? Either way, thanks D7. Next question from Cuddly Pigeon. Hello, how are you? One of my favorite questions I got. What is a video game with an underrated soundtrack in your opinion? Whoo, boy. Well, I'm glad I'm actually finally answering this. There's two. There's two, and then the number one. So second place, I can't think of a third right now. I'm sure I will after the video's over. Second place is Skullgirls, which I worked on for a bit. I did the QA for that. I'm in the credits too. You'll find me in there. Skullgirls as a whole is pretty underrated. It's for those that don't know, it's like a 2D fighting game, like kind of like Marvel. It's 3-on-3, and it's a really cool story, and it's all hand drawn. It's amazing animation, but the music is unbelievable. Some of the composers are from Castlevania, some are just other established, and it's just so insane. Like, we got jazz, bossa nova. It's everywhere. I wasn't planning on doing a recommendation in this video, but if you're really curious on Skullgirls, I recommend the whole soundtrack, which is on Spotify. Like, seriously, all of it. But if I had to choose some songs you had to pick, I would definitely go with The Lives We Tried to Reclaim and The Lives We Left Behind. Some of my favorite music at all ever in a video game. And then my most underrated soundtrack, in my opinion, which I think is the best soundtrack in video game. Controversial. Bloody Roar 2. So you may be asking why. What the hell is Bloody Roar 2? Bloody Roar 2 was a series, right? Bloody Roar. Fighting games made from Hudson, where you basically were, you know, a warrior that can transform into a beast, so you can turn into a tiger, etc., etc. But the soundtrack to that game still sticks with me to this day. Here's why. Because you get two soundtracks. You get two big-ass libraries of songs in one game. So the default OST are character themes. So each character has their own theme, which is mostly played by a band. So we got guitar, live drums, all that. Really cool, really awesome guitar stuff, but also just really cool music in general. And then, if you were to go to the options and then switch the OST to the arcade version, it totally changes everything. So now instead of character themes, we have stage themes, and they fit all the stages so well. And now the music has changed to more like house, electronic, drum and bass, jungle. It's just insane. And I do recommend, from the arcade OST, just look Bloody Roar 2, Aquarium, and Tatami. Tatami. Bloody Roar 2 is by far like my favorite and most underrated soundtrack in VGM OST. Woo! I have a question from Naja from the NRS community, NRS meaning NetherRealm Studios, aka Mortal Kombat and Injustice, a community I was part of for a while. And he asked my favorite Kotal Brutal, meaning my favorite brutality from the character Kotal Khan, who was my main character. Just to keep it simple, it's the one from MKX where he grabs you and with the power of the sun just roasts you to death. And I'll post like a little video of here. It's just so brutal. I love that thing. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I miss Kotal Khan, and I just miss Kotal Khan in general. But you know, long live the power of the sun. Next question is from Chi on Patreon. Do you have a favorite video game song or soundtrack that you knew about before you started this React series? Yes, Bloody Roar 2, which I just mentioned. But my favorite video game song, I mentioned this in the Dragon Song reaction video for Final Fantasy XIV. My favorite song in VGM is The Best Is Yet to Come from Metal Gear Solid on the PS1. It is the intro theme and the ending theme. And that one part in Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots, yeah, that blew me away. Next question is from Lenart on Patreon. Are there other areas that you are an artist about, ever explored? I don't know, like drawing, painting, sculpting. And have you got other hobbies that are far out there than to playing guitar? Well, as far as artistic, I'm not really any of those. I don't draw, I don't paint, I don't sculpt. The closest thing I can think of is I'm kind of into like interior design. So, you know, like having stuff on the walls and doing all that. I did that at my last place, but I had to kind of tear that all down. And then over here in my new spot, I don't really have anything going on. But as far as hobbies, honestly, besides just the guitar and making music, I don't really do much outside of like maybe watch Twitch streams. I do watch a lot of Twitch streams, but I don't really do all that much. I just work and sleep and listen to music pretty much every day. Happy Bell asks, how many instruments do you play, and what is your favorite instrument to play or just to listen to? So I play the guitar, obviously, the electric and the classical nylon style. I bought a bass a couple months ago, so I've been playing bass now for, I don't know, 5 months. But, you know, with the experience of the guitar, I'm actually like a little better than like your average beginner. And I just got a MIDI controller or a little mini keyboard not too long ago either, which I'm not very good at, but I love playing that. My favorite instrument to play is the guitar for sure. And my favorite to listen to, I'll let you guys guess before I answer in the next like 10 seconds. Ready? It's the saxophone. I love the saxophone so much. It's such a oozing sound to my ears. It just kind of like vibrates my whole body. It's such a, especially if you hear one in person, saxophone is amazing. And all of my favorite songs have saxophones in it. So Zero Drakengard asks, what made you want to start doing reaction videos to video game soundtracks? Well, a couple things. One, I have been into reaction videos on YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube. And I've been into reaction channels for the past like year or so. And I never thought I would be. I just thought it was kind of lame at first. Kind of like, why am I watching someone, you know? It's just weird. But I was watching the wrong reaction kind of videos. I was just watching like trailers and stuff like that. But once I discovered like music reactions, it just kind of like was, oh, you know, hey, I like that song. You know, I want to see someone else experience it for the first time. And I was like, well, that'd be a cool thing for me to do. Except, honestly, one, I know way too many songs. So it wouldn't even be, you know, for me to hear a song for the first time, like an actual like regular music song, that would be such a thin catalog, so it wouldn't be genuine. As far as how I got into VGMs, it was kind of just like a aha moment. I'm like, well, I've always loved VGM, and I think if I recall correctly, I was searching for a song, and I don't remember, but I was like, wait, like let's see if someone has reacted to this video game song, and then I thought, wait, no one's really doing this, so someone has to, and here we are. So that guy returns, asks, I remember you mentioning in the Ace Combat track reactions that you used to work for Bandai Namco. What were you doing for them while you were there? Also, what would you say has been your favorite track that you've reacted to thus far? So the second question I've got a lot from a lot of people, so I'll get to that one later. So what did I do at Bandai Namco? I was with I was like at a third-party company working for Bandai doing QA testing, so which is kind of like at the very bottom in the gaming industry. Like you have to start somewhere. QA is basically a quality assurance, so you're testing the game. You're really, it sounds like a dream job, really, like it sounds like you're playing games all day, but not what I did. Like I had to, you're trying to break it. You're trying to cause bugs to happen, glitches, collision issues. You're trying to purposely, you know, have stuff go bad so that they can fix it, and then you're in communication with the developer team, and then they reply right back like, this is intended, we're gonna fix it, thank you, and then that's how you end up in the credits. So yeah, I did that for a while. I did QA for a while, not just Bandai, but Bandai was cool. So I worked on I can't even remember, Inversion, Ridge Racer Unbounded, Tekken Tag 2, oh, Ace Combat Infinity. There's just been so many that I've worked on, but that's what I did. So I wasn't like some developer or anything, but it was fun at the time, just very taxing, and it kind of takes away some fun from video games, to be honest, believe it or not. Moving on to YouTube questions from Dio. Since the Final Fantasy XIV content is popping off lately, I got the ultimate Final Fantasy XIV question for you. Bunny girls, cat girls, or dragon girls? You can only choose one. Since I have no idea what he's talking about, and I'm sure people are rooting for my answer, my gut instinct says bunny girls? Is that the correct choice? Confitao asks, what made you passionate about music? How did you start as a music professional? I always find interesting how you really appreciate music through a certain genre might not be of your liking. Keep up the good work, bro. And yes, Infected Mushroom is effing good. When you mentioned them, I was like, F me, I am not crazy then. I love them. Yes, Infected Mushroom is great. And I'm also seeing them live for the first time on Christmas in LA. Woo! Okay, so what made me passionate about music? Whew, I'll try to condense this without talking for 3 hours. I can't explain my love for like music and sounds. It's just definitely a part of me. I've always reacted to music like this way, you know. I'm like that guy like you would see on the bus, just like jamming out to his headphones. I have headphones in my head, well, of course, but like, you know, like 17 hours of the day I'm always just listening to something. How did I start as a music professional? Well, I mean, I started doing a lot of open mics a lot, and you know, that's where you just perform. I don't know if they're where I don't know if they have them where you guys live, but an open mic is like a weekly or bi-weekly performance where people just get together at a restaurant or a bookstore or outside, and then just have literally a microphone there, and you could just do whatever you want. You have like 10 minutes. Some people recite poems, spoken words, and then, you know, a lot of musicians. So I would just always play my like flamenco guitar stuff, instrumentals. And then from there, you kind of just start to network, and I just kind of met people. I also know a lot of connections in like the fighting game community, so I would submit my songs to like production companies and then just have them hear it. Like, for example, ESL Street Fighter, they used one of my videos just because I sent it to them, and you know, I'm not sure if that makes me a professional, but I definitely just kept grinding and promoting my stuff as much as I could. So hopefully that answered the question. Patrice Guerrero asks, or says, Jesse, my man, when you have passion driving you, it shows in your videos. Well done on the growth on this channel. From reading your posts and seeing your vids, you really give off the humble, down-to-earth vibe, which is fantastic. I know you're a music aficionado. Are there any non-guitar related instruments you play? And if no, if you could pick 3 other instruments to master, what would they be? Whew. The only non-guitar related instrument I play is the MIDI controller, or the like the little keyboard. I'm still learning. That's about it. Also, I have a little djembe. I don't know where it is. It's like a little drum, like yay big, and I used it in my new Jobis video. If you guys are fans of new Jobis, I covered. I'll put it right here. If I could pick 3 instruments to master, I didn't even think about this question. I'm trying to think right on the spot. The saxophone, the French horn. I've always loved the sound of a French horn. And, you know, I'll just keep it simple, and I wish I could learn... I was just gonna say drums, but I wish I can honestly just master all percussion instruments. I think that'd be so cool. Just, you know, because it's so raw, you just get up and just start hitting things and making noise. Like, I just find percussion so chef's kiss. So, yeah. The next question is from Priscilla the Paragon. Hopefully I'm saying that right. So, given how much you've been enjoying the Final Fantasy soundtrack, have you considered checking out the game at all? I already answered that. Are you a gamer? Should be the first question. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thanks. So I actually get this question a lot. So this is big. This is a big one. Am I a gamer? Do I even play games? Like, how do I not know these songs? So the answer to that is yes. Obviously, I play games. I've been playing games since I was 5 years old. I had my Sega Genesis at 5, and then my PS1, and then I had a Game Boy Color, and my PSP. That was like the Kratos God of War edition, and PS2, PS3, PS4. My PS4 is right there, actually. Since then, I'm just mostly like a PC player now. I just mostly play stuff on Steam. But to make this condensed as possible, as far as like why don't I know some of these songs? Well, I guess it's not really part of the question, but I'm making it now. So the question is, am I a gamer? Yes. So basically, to answer that, I played video games pretty much every day of my life, all day, from like, you know, 5 to, I don't know, 13 or something. And then I started playing guitar, and my interest was now, you know, girls in high school and guitar. So I was becoming a man very quickly, and you know, I just started playing games a lot less, and that's all I did for a while. But then once I got into QA, you know, in my early 20s, then I kind of got back into video games that way. But immediately, again, I was kind of like, nah, this isn't for me, because that doing that job kind of ruins games for you. Like, think about it. Think about playing a game 8 hours a day that you didn't choose, and you're, instead of playing it, enjoying it, you're like, just, it's a job, and you're trying to destroy it. It doesn't make you want to play games after work or before work, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of burnt me out. But it didn't make me hate games or anything. I just played a lot less. So yes, I'm a gamer, but with my crazy schedule now, it's just like I don't have time to do anything. I'm really focused on my career right now and making stuff happen. So huge answer to a small question, but there you go. Moonshield says, congrats. Also, is that Ash in the picture? Oh, they're talking about Ash because I put a picture of my I put a picture of Ash Ketchum from Pokemon in my Q&A post. And they ask, if so, what is your favorite Pokemon? I only know Pokemon Generation 1. And honestly, I like the three birds, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, just because Uno Dos Tres, which I thought was cool. But I think Articuno is my #1, and I don't know why. It's not like I really followed Pokemon too much. I just thought it was cool that it was an ice bird. So that's the extent of that. Do you have any songs whose lyrics have affected your outlook on things? Wow. Yes. I will keep it very simple, and I'll let you guys do the research. The song that did that for me, there's plenty, but the one that comes to mind is A Sight to Behold by Gojira. So you guys listen to that on your own time and read those lyrics on your own time. Marjolaine Dervin, hopefully I'm saying that right, asks, which movie soundtrack is your favorite and why? And favorite genre of music to listen to. P.S. If you could one day react to either Pentakill or League of Legends, I'd be very grateful. I'm pretty sure I do have Pentakill coming, so there's that. My favorite movie soundtrack and why? Oh god. Bear in mind, I'm not like researching these questions. I'm just kind of thinking on the fly. I would say Scarface. I really like because it had a lot of songs I still listen to now, like Push It to the Limit. Just that whole 80s banger soundtrack was so good. I also just love that movie in general. And what's the other one? Oh, Kill Bill 1 and 2. Quentin Tarantino has such an amazing music selection, and he also likes westerns and stuff, so I don't know, just something about Kill Bill soundtracks are just so good. The ending credits with Goodnight Moon, there's just so many. I can talk about movies for a long time, but in order to keep the video going, we're just gonna keep it there. Favorite genre of music to listen to. That question is literally impossible for me to answer, because if you couldn't figure out by now, I am a gigantic music jukebox nerd. Insert name here. It depends on my mood. It depends on the day. It depends if it's the weather. Here's just, I mean, at the top of my head, you know, I listen to like rock, metal, reggae, hip hop, house, Mexican music, Japanese music, Japanese metal, world music, Renaissance music. You know, like I really can't. Beats, lo-fi, like there's just, and then there's subgenres in between all that. Oh god, favorite genre, I honestly can't answer that. Flamenco is so good, classical is so good. Folk, I really like folk. Man, I can't. It just depends on my mood and the time of the day. But I guess I'll just answer with yes. Dragon Ear X asks, when did you start liking guitars and music in general? Well, I already answered the music in general. It's about just my whole life. It's just a part of me. When did I start liking guitars? That's actually kind of interesting. I don't really know. Because like I said, it wasn't my first interest as far as picking up an instrument. I want to say probably like in my early teens. Just watching, I think I saw some like Van Halen video somewhere, and I was like, oh, that's cool. He's just like all over the place and tapping and all this. But of course I didn't really start paying attention to it once I got one. I wasn't like a big guitar fan, and then I bought one. It's like I got a guitar, and then from there the floodgates opened, and then I really got into it. So probably around like 14 years old, I really started to like go into all of it, the sound, the physics, the science behind guitars, all that nerdy stuff that someone like me would do. So Carlaco32 asks, do you cook often, or are there certain places that your favorite to eat out? Do you have any recipe suggestions for someone trying to expand their recipe book? I definitely have no recipe suggestions whatsoever. My favorite food to eat out at is Mexican food or Thai. I really like Thai. And do I cook often? Not so much anymore. I kind of just, well, I mean, like I meal prep, but it's really basic. My food palette is so boring lately. It's just like rice and chicken and like broccoli. Yeah, super boring answer, but if I could just eat Mexican food all day, every day, and maybe some Chinese here and there, I'd be okay. But unfortunately, that would probably not go well with me, but yeah. David Brooks asks, what are your favorite hobbies out of the music? What's your favorite genre of music? And I'm a big fan of the big orchestral numbers in games like EverQuest and Final Fantasy XIV. So just answer the hobbies. I actually answered both of these, but my favorite hobbies, you know, basically, honestly, having free time, sleep, guitar, video games, and I like editing. You know, that's kind of weird. I didn't mention that before. I like photo editing, video editing. It's, I don't know, it passes the time. I like doing it. And favorite genre of music, again, you know, music in general. I cannot think of a favorite genre of music, unfortunately. Shred Dead Shredemption asks, will you be doing more guitar gear reviews in the future? Yes. So, for those that don't know, for like 4 years, you know, my channel was already established as like a guitar channel, and I did a lot of lessons, covers, and I started doing reviews, and I really took my time on those reviews, like for companies to see them and stuff. And I still have some left. I was gonna do a lot. I have like 3 left that I have to do. I don't know when. This kind of took over, but I definitely am not ever getting rid of the guitar content ever. In fact, I have a guitar video coming very soon. So yes, and soon. I don't know when, but that'll never leave this channel. There's just no way. It's a part of me. So more reviews are coming. Yes. H. Mendez, watching your flamenco original song, I noticed you had some Japanese culture influences. Would you react to Japanese and or anime music? Well, the simple answer to this, that's probably going to go with another question I have later, I think. No. This channel is mostly kind of like VGM, right? Like I react to video game music. Anime music, or, you know, films, regular music, anything like that, that is, I'm sure you guys know if you watch other reaction channels, that's a nightmare. You get blocked videos in certain countries, you gotta like upload on Vimeo, nobody watches Vimeo. Copyright strikes, copyright claims, and it's just like, it's just a mess. It's a mess. And honestly, other people do it better than me. And you know, I kind of found my niche with VGMs, so I'm just gonna stick to that. And although I would love to, I'm sure music from those outlets are incredible. It's just not something I foresee happening on this channel. So, sorry. Christopher Souza asks, what do you hope for the future of your channel and YouTube presence? What else would you like to do with it? These are some crazy questions. Making me think here. What would I hope for the future of my channel? To be totally honest, just freedom, right? Not having to work for anyone else, be my own boss. Just total freedom and kind of do what I want. Live the dream, really. And what would I like to do with it? To be honest, I'm kind of like a giving person. So, you know, for example, like I would have loved if, when my channel was growing with guitar stuff, I would have loved if like some channel, you know, noticed me and then like shared me to their audience or something. So I probably down the line will probably be reacting to more like covers of stuff. And, you know, if they're okay with it, then I'll just literally be showcasing their channel to you guys. And I think it's just, I just think it's kind of greedy when people don't kind of like share that platform. And I by no means am a hog. You know, if there's talent out there, then I'm more than willing to show them off and stuff, because there's just way too many talented people, especially on YouTube. So that's the first thing that comes to mind, what I'd like to do with it. Hopefully it just takes me very far, and, you know, and now that I just mentioned that, honestly, one of my dream like goals is to make a song or make my own OST like for a game. And I'm more than willing to do it, and I have so many riffs that people have never heard that would blow your mind. So hopefully maybe I can network with some devs and do that. I think that'd be really cool. Good question. Next question from Teddy Santia. Excuse me. I hope my question below wouldn't offend you or anything. This is just from my own curiosity, so feel free not to answer this question if you don't feel like it. How do you feel about the number of views on Final Fantasy XIV music are significantly higher compared to other game music? As for me, I only watch your Final Fantasy XIV music reactions and don't care about other games' music because I only play Final Fantasy XIV right now. Maybe you can share some thoughts. Huh. Well, to be totally honest, well, for one, I can't tell you what to like and not like. Obviously, you're here for a reason. You like what you like. That's cool. I am not gonna judge you. But one thing that I will say about this kind of mentality, don't take offense to what I'm gonna say now, but I typically, actually not typically, I don't ever really like get along with people with this mindset. Please, just hear me out. Like, how do I say this without sounding like mean? But it's essentially being closed-minded, and you just kind of don't want to give other stuff a chance. And that's kind of not really like a way to live for me. Obviously, I'm speaking for myself. I can't live like that. I'm way too open to hearing anything and trying it all out. And if you have a specific taste, then, you know, by all means, that's all you. So, no disrespect, but I can't really. Typically, if I meet someone like that, like I usually don't get along with them. I have nothing to talk about with them. It's very like one-dimensional, and that's just, it's so awkward to try to like carry a conversation like that with someone. I'm sure there's more than, you know, just him asking. I'm sure there's plenty of people that only, you know, stick to one thing, and that's fine. I'm more of a like, you know, blank canvas and kind of willing to try everything. So I'm not sure if that's really an answer, but I can't give you advice, but if I were to, it'd be like, you have no idea what's out there, and you're probably missing out on a plethora of gems in the world because of that. So, you know, you live one time, so try to experience as much as you can. That's what I would, that's how I see it. I'm a fire malazer. Oh, it's the shoop de whoop. Asks or says, I bet you in another timeline you was a DJ and you just have the natural talent since birth as a reincarnation of the DJ. Otherwise, God bless you, great content. My wife says I'm special for listening to reaction videos and Reddit videos, but sometimes when I watch your vids, she says, wow, who is that? I show her, and by the way, my wife has education in music, and she says, sub to this man. He knows his shit. So I did. It's not a question, but it was in my questions. Thank you, and shout out to your wife. I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you. Next question from Ranorax Blender Stuff. What song or genre of music is your guilty pleasure, and why do you consider it guilty? You know, I feel like before, like past me would have had a different answer, but now, you know, I'm older now. I don't really care. So like something being guilty would be kind of like, how do I explain it? Kind of like I'm ashamed or something, you know. But I don't care anymore. I like everything, and I'm okay with me liking everything, and so really nothing. All my pleasures are not guilty. They're convicted. Taylor Grimm asks, "What's your favorite guilty pleasure food?" Another guilty question. You know, I can't think at the top of my head, but I do love Fig Newtons, and people just hate on Fig Newtons. Why? What's the hate for? Why don't people like Fig Newtons? Is it the texture? Is it the amazing stuff inside? I don't get it. Also, Whoppers, you know, those little like coconut chocolates, people hate on those too. What's wrong with Whoppers? And like, come on, you guys gotta up your tastes. I'm not sure about guilty pleasure, but I mean, I do like those two, and I always get like weird faces when I say that. So, Fig Newtons and Whoppers, hell yeah. Rudy's 101 asks, why main Yoshi? They are referring to Yoshimitsu from Tekken. So for those that don't know, for a very long time, excuse me, I played Tekken competitively in tournaments. I used to travel for it. A lot of content for it. I used to commentate it. I did a lot for Tekken. And my main character was Yoshi. I had two main characters. I had Lee and Yoshimitsu. Everyone mostly knows me for Yoshimitsu. Yoshimitsu is like the Namco mascot. He's in every Tekken. He's in Soul Calibur. He always looks different in every iteration. The reason I mained him, I remember specifically because I was working on Tag 2 at Namco. And, you know, I had to pick everyone. I literally had to go through everyone and do everything with everyone. And I just noticed there was one character that had, like, a sword. And no one really had weapons. And no one really does have weapons in that game. So that drew me to him. And then I noticed how, like, wacky he was. He was, like, stabbing himself in the gut. He was spinning around. He was just disappearing and just, like, kind of trolly. But to be honest, it was just more like... I liked like the style of the way he plays. Yoshimitsu is really weird and funky. He doesn't really have like an archetype. So I just like that he's just kind of like stupid. You can play him like smart, you can play him dumb, you can play him funny. And I don't know, he's just like a palette, and and plus he looks cool to me. He has a sword, dude. Come on, he has a spinning hand with a sword. You can't really beat that. Next question from Amaz: do you gent? Next question from YouTube. Attila Barna asks, what would you say are your top 5 favorite songs that you have reacted to on your channel so far? Also, really enjoying your reactions, my dude. Congrats on the milestone. Thank you. Oh god, a lot of people have asked this. I've now done, I think, over 50 reactions in like a month, so I had to kind of go back and see which ones, in no order, and this is hard to pick 5. In no order, you know, not like the best. I would say it's Answers from Final Fantasy XIV, the Black Wolf Stalks Again, or Emerald Weapon from same game, Ravana's theme, Unbending Steel, also Final Fantasy XIV, and then there was Zero from Ace Combat Zero, incredible, and of course Scourge of the Furies from Hades. I still like watching that reaction because you can see like the soul escaping my body, and a big honorable mention to Metal Brute Justice. That was really fun. It's so hard to choose, but I would say those are my 6 out of your top 5. Yeah, I don't know which one is the best. That's hard. It's like choosing your favorite child. So, but thank you for the milestone. Congratulations. I Got Too Much Love says, congrats on 10K, dude. My question for Q&A would be, what was the band / music genre that you yourself didn't expect to enjoy as much as you did? I'm gonna sound kind of like a noob here, but I was never thinking I never thought I would get into like J-pop and K-pop and, you know, mostly like Asian countries and music like that. Not for any specific reason. I just thought like I would never like relate to any of it. I cannot remember for the life of me this girl's name. I think it's Kiari Pamu. Please correct me, but she had a song called Ninja Rebang Bang, and I just remember being like, yeah, I need more of this. This is cool. So it wasn't like, no, well, yeah, basically I didn't expect to enjoy that as much as I did. So there's the answer to your question. I kind of feel like listening to that right now. But yeah, so just that kind of all that sort of genre and style, really cool stuff in there that are hidden gems. Really recommend. Next question from Combat Born. Hey Uncle Jesse, congrats on the milestone. Yes. Your videos and your reactions have been a highlight to my days, and seeing you geek out and show the passion you have for music is why I prefer your reactions so much over others. Wow. I have a question for the Q&A too, and that is just if you would ever be open to doing short series where you give the games from your reactions a try. Whether that just be for one video or anything, but I just wanted to ask because a lot of these games, I am sure you have seen how supportive the communities for them are, and I think being able to see more of your reactions would be cool. But anyways, you have been doing awesome and I wish you the best. Wow, thank you. As far as like a short series, maybe. I'm not opposed to anything. This is all new. Like, I'm still learning all of this. I've been doing reactions for 1 month. If you're seeing this later down the road, this might be funny, but as of right now, I've only been doing reactions for like just over a month, so I'm still learning what else I could do with it, and I'm not against that. The same kind of question I get a lot is like, would I ever stream these kind of games? And you know, maybe I did stream on. I have been streaming on Twitch for like 8 years, but I just never did it consistently because I had no real reason to. So maybe that's the only. You know, I'm not saying no, but maybe. You never know. If there's a high enough demand or something like that. Or if I have time. Number 1, if I have time. But thank you for the question. Firecat0 asks, aside from rock, metal, and stuff with piano, are there any other genres you find yourself often enjoying? Any really unexpected ones? So I've kind of had this question a lot. I answered it pretty much earlier. As far as genres, here, I'll answer your question with a little curveball. And I mean this wholeheartedly. I like everything, as long as it's not country. Like, literally, that's it. Country, I just can't. Here's the thing about country, and correct me if you feel different. But I think in order to really like country, you kind of just have to relate to it. as in like be from certain areas, or you know, just certain lifestyle things. I hope I don't offend anyone, but I just don't see any. I just don't relate to it. I don't connect with the lyrics at all. The music is just kind of whatever to me. The guitar players in country are actually pretty good. I'll give them that. But it's just, oh god, I'm gonna sound so bad here, but I just find it boring. I just find it boring. I'm sorry. Not all country. You know, there's like, you know, like John Denver back in like the 70s and stuff. That rules. I'm talking more like, you know, modern stuff. I'm just gonna stop talking. But yeah. But genres that I find myself enjoying more than others, I have like a couple that like I listen to way more than others, and that's like metal, reggae, underground hip hop, and flamenco. Those are kind of like my go-tos, and then everything else is just kind of like a branch off of that tree. Sorry, country fans. Dark Death says, congrats, mate. I have 2 for the Q&A, but forgive me if they've already been asked. 1, do you plan on branching out and reacting to music from other forms of media? I already answered this prior, and the answer is probably not, just because it's a headache with YouTube and blocked videos. And to be honest, I probably have heard a lot of those things or seen those movies, so it wouldn't really be authentic. 2, what are your 3 favorite parent genres of music, and list at least one subgenre? Example, I enjoy rock, but I love metalcore, or I'm not a big fan of K-pop, but I'm nuts about K-R&B. Keep up the good work. I love the way you react. It feels so genuine. Thanks. 3 favorite parent genres of music, and list one. I guess, man, like at the top of my head, geez. So for number 2 of what are my favorite 3 parent genres, I'll start with metal, right? So I like, there's so many, but you know, from metal I like gent, like neoclassical, thrash, progressive, black. Did I say death already? Sheesh, there's so many. Hip hop, there's like, you know, 80s hip hop, there's like gangster rap, there's instrumental, like lo-fi stuff, beats. Sheesh, man, this is like such a broad question. For rock, we have like classic rock, like Creedence Clearwater. We have grunge. Oh man, this is so. We have rockabilly too, which I really, man, this is harder than I would think. It's harder when it's on the spot. You know, on YouTube you can like, you know, make cuts and think about this, but I'm just trying to think on the spot. Those are the only, at the top of my head, it's like the first things that come to mind. But yeah, thanks for the kind words. Carlaco32 asks, congrats, man. I'm very excited for your growing success on the channel. Another question, if you'd like to answer, what is the tattoo on your forearm? Boom. I'm guessing you mean this one and not all that. This is a very special thing that I think you guys would like. First of all, I'm gonna just say something important. I've had this for a while now. I don't even know how long, maybe 8 or 10 years. And I always get asked, what is that? What does that say? You know, I can't read it. At the beginning, I told a lot of people what it is because, you know, whatever. But after a while, I kind of got tired of telling people. Like, it's just, I don't know. I didn't want to do it anymore. So for like years and years and years, literally, I would just tell people, I don't tell anyone what it means. It's just like a secret to me. For no reason. It's not like I was trying to hide something. I just didn't feel like explaining it. But the only thing I told them was like, if you could read Gaelic, then you can see it. Hopefully my camera focuses. But basically, these are the lyrics to The Best Is Yet to Come from Metal Gear Solid. So when I say it's my favorite song, it's on me forever. So it's, remember when we used to cry, remember when we used to laugh, or sorry, remember when we used to laugh, remember when we used to cry. Seek out the best in life, because the best is yet to come. So there you go. Now all you know. You're welcome. Next question from Makima's Woof Woof. Are you loving what you are doing on your channel? Would you like to expand further doing other things at some point, as that helps with the algorithm of YouTube? Oh, and keep up the great work. Thanks. I do love what I'm doing. It is very much what I've been doing my whole life, and that's 1, listening to music and loving it to death, and 2, video games, and 3, I've always loved VGM. Always. I was, you know, I remember being in like middle school and I had a CD player. Remember CD players with anti-skip technology? And I remember putting in the PS1 disc of Grand Theft Auto, I think it was Grand Theft Auto 1, just to hear the song Joyride, which is the main theme of that game. Like, that's how nerdy I was with VGM. So I love what I'm doing. I think it's absolutely relevant to what I was already doing before. You know, for those that don't know, I played guitar on my channel for years, and most of my catalog is like video game covers on guitar. Whether they're done metal or they're done classical, that's just what I did. So this is like right up my alley, and it's just another outlet for me to enjoy it. And expanding on the further things, I don't know yet. You know, possibly, because, you know, people seem to be just kind of liking my presence. So who knows, whatever I'll do, I'll just probably take you guys along with me, whether it's I'm streaming or doing something, I don't know, but I will definitely let you guys know on what I do. But thank you. Soul Black Guy says, did you come up with a highly anticipated 100k milestone video idea yet? Being 1/10 of the way there may seem like it's too early to do so, but you'll get there before you know it. That's, I mean, I guess that's not really a question, but oh, it is actually, and no. Because the idea of that scares me to death. You know, I've always had a small channel. I've always had the same like 3 or 4 commenters, and now all of a sudden it's just like, holy crap, you know, what happened overnight? So just the idea of 100k of you guys is, it's overwhelming. Don't get me wrong. You know, I'm being sarcastic. I speak in a lot of satire and sarcasm, if you couldn't tell. My voice never changes, so I'm sorry. But no, of course 100k would be phenomenal and just fantastic, but it does kind of like, ugh, you know, scares me a little bit. Not actually, but I have no idea what I would do for 100k. Maybe some cover of like a Final Fantasy song, like all the way through, or like a collab with something. I would love to collab with other people, but I don't know. No, I had not thought about that. I was still tripping. I wasn't even gonna do this video. I said it kind of jokingly. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it at 10,000, and then 10,000. So hopefully I don't jinx myself again, and then I wake up tomorrow with 100k. So I'll let you know what I come up with, or if you guys have ideas, then please help me. The next question, literally the next question, by Tara Crank. How has your rapid growth affected you personally? It's been, so I'll give you like a kind of like a less positive answer and then like a positive answer, but they're both not that bad. So basically, you know, like I'm already busy at work, like Monday through Friday. I have a full-time job and I love that job, but it's becoming now like overbearing to the point where not in a bad way, but like, you know, I kind of wish I had more time. I wish I had more time for you guys. I know a lot of you understand that I work and you are okay with waiting for your request, but for me, that's not like me at all. Like if someone asks something of me, I give it to them like pretty much right there and then. So me having to have you guys wait is very foreign to me, and I don't like it. So it's a personal problem of mine, but not anything to do with you guys. But how it's affected me personally? Well, it flipped my life around, so that's something. Every day I wake up and I see people just being so nice to me, and you know, all that, and I'm just like, whoa, dude, like I have reasons to like smile every day, and every time I'm like reacting to music, I'm like smiling. I never really smiled in my videos. Go look at any video past last month where I'm just playing guitar. My face is just, you know. But you know, now I'm smiling. I'm more myself. I'm just kind of, I feel like a load has been kind of like dropping away from me. And as I say this, I'm approaching closer and closer to like maybe leaving my job and doing this full time, where none of this would be an issue, and then I can just kind of live my dream life. So it has affected me personally, and there's a lot happening every day. Every day is just a new experience. I'm still learning how to handle all this by myself, but I'm here for the ride, so you're stuck with me. Mrs. Coder asked, do you have any guilty pleasure bands, songs? I already answered that before, but I appreciate your question because I read all the questions. So thank you, Mrs. Coder. Rudy's 101 asks, what game are you currently playing, if any? The last game I played, well, I'll answer with a smaller question. Whenever I do stream on Twitch, sometimes I'll do Jackbox. If you guys are familiar with Jackbox, they're like party games that you can play with your chat. So, I mean, I guess that kind of counts because they are games, but it's just like a game where everyone in like the audience can play, and I like doing that. I like community-driven kind of stuff instead of just watching me play something by myself. But the last game I played was a game called Knockout City, and I actually really enjoyed that. That came out in May of 2021, and it was really cool. It was cool. It was a cheap game. It's a dodgeball game, but like kind of FPS style, but it's in third person. So it's really fun. Like if you watch footage of it, it's fun. It looks cool. The graphics are great. The designs, the outfits, everything's really cool. The developers are really like, they're in touch with the community. I really like Knockout City. I was actually pretty damn good in it too. I was really high ranked. But that's the last game I played, and I haven't played that since, God, I don't know. It's been like 3 months now. But that's the last thing I was playing, was Knockout City. Fun game. Try it. Still love that game. I wish I had more time. Oh, and the soundtrack to that game. Yes, the OST to Knockout City is wild. It's like futuristic jazz, bossa nova. Yeah, that's the only way I can describe it. It's awesome. And then my last question from Jedor, or Jedor, sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. How'd you come about calling yourself Uncle Jesse online? What a great last question to end it. So basically, I used to go by another handle back in the day, and it was really stupid. Not stupid in like a bad way, but like I just thought it was like so corny. The only reason I came up with that name before was because I didn't like to think of names. I just wanted to make a name for like PSN. So I took my name and I reversed it, and it was like SETNO, whatever. It was just, that was that. And then as I branched away from like that kind of content, I was just like, I don't want to be that anymore. That sounds weird. It doesn't make sense. It looks dumb. So like, I'll just go by Jesse. And Uncle Jesse, obviously from Full House, was kind of like my idol growing up. Not actually, but I mean, who doesn't love Uncle Jesse? Like really, like, you know, Uncle Jesse was like, you know, long hair, guitar player. He got all the girls. He rode a Harley. He's like a man goddess. You know, Uncle Jesse was just like the cream of the crop. And, you know, his name was Jesse. So it's like, okay. And then, you know, a couple years ago, I became an uncle. So I was like, I can finally be Uncle Jesse. So now I'm Uncle Jesse. And, you know, obviously I'd rather just be called Jesse, or Uncle Jesse is just fine, totally. But when I came up with like the hey part, that's just because Uncle Jesse was taken. I would love to just be Uncle Jesse online and be like the Uncle Jesse. But that was taken, so I added hey onto it, and here we are. So that is how I became Uncle Jesse. So I hope that didn't bore you to death. This is a very different type of video for me. I can't believe I hit 10,000. I can't believe people want to know more about me. But here we are. I'm taking it all in, and I'm here for the ride. So I appreciate all of you, all the comments. I try to read them all. I see what you guys say. I know the requests are coming. I am very grateful that you guys are patient with waiting, even though I hate that you have to wait. Just, you know, write it out with me, and we'll see what happens. This could probably be my full-time gig one day. It's very not that unlikely, but maybe I'll do this again. Who knows, 20K or something, or maybe I'll never do it again. Who knows? But it's up to you guys. And what else do I have to plug? The music you've been hearing this whole time has been mine. I don't really plug my stuff ever, but everything you've heard has been my own original music. So if you look on Spotify and iTunes, I'll put like a link below. I have 2 albums you can check out. That's about it. You know, just I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you for coming and staying. And never thought any of this would be possible, but here we are. It's just mind blowing. So happy holidays wherever you're at. Take care. Drink water. Have a great day, dudes and dudettes. from your Uncle Jesse.